happy to introduce Mr. Craig Vanderwall and Mr. Jason Meyer, so I'll be very brief. They are running two classes that are kind of a new opportunity, an adapted music and an adapted art class. And anytime we have a chance to expand our opportunities for these students, for our students, we jump at it. And it's because of them, not any one of us or any of our idea pushing into them. So I'm just honored when great people have great ideas, I have to say yes, and how can I support to make this happen? So I would like to kind of turn it over to them so they can kind of share a little bit about these two new courses, relatively new courses, so go ahead.
Hi, my class is very new. We've had it for about, 7 or 8 weeks now. So we just started it this year. It does come, as you're aware, from 2 years of what we called Eagle Claw percussion, where I was meeting with the students once a week in drumming, and as some room opened up in my schedule this year, we added it as a class first trimester, and it's been just nothing but a joy. It's been fantastic. The main goal of the class that I'm trying to explore is just to give students an opportunity to make as much music as possible in as many different ways as possible. So we had a whole week where we focused only on our voices and singing. And then at the end of the week, Deb Andre was gracious enough to host us, and we sat with the choir and had a choir rehearsal and sang with the students in the choir program. And then a couple weeks later, we focused on orchestral music, and our orchestra program donated a string bass to my class. And we were able to have the students manipulate and play a string bass. And then at the end of the week, we went in and joined Mr. Davis and the orchestra students, and we learned how to conduct. And the kids got to conduct the orchestra and play with the orchestra, so that was awesome. Things that are coming up, of course, is a rock band week. I have 3 drum sets that we'll play. Mr. Beal said he'd bring his guitar, and we'll act like rock stars for a week. We're gonna work with the drum line at the high school, the concert band at the high school, the jazz band at the high school. So we're just trying to use the programs that we already have to get as many kids together making music as possible, and then expose this student population to as many different musical styles. So last night they performed at our fall concert. We drummed. They played 8-6-7-5-3-0-9 Jenny. Loved it. It was awesome. And then because they love to sing so much, we did a full auditorium karaoke style of a song from The Greatest Showman, led by Jake Gainey. He sang into the mic and just led everybody, and it was just absolutely wonderful. So the parapros have been great. The teachers have been great, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Craig, how many students do you have in your class?
There's 12. Yeah, so pretty good number, but I think most of the students that were eligible decided to be a part of it. So there's 12. And I would just say, it's 4th hour, come and see it. You'll walk away with your heart filled. They just bring so much energy and excitement to it, and it's just so much fun to be a part of it. It's loud. I'm a part of it. It's really fun. This summer, we went on a trip to Chicago and went and played drums at Navy Pier and had Chicago-style pizza and explored the city and took a tour bus and had a great trip to Chicago. And coming up this spring, I guess, March, I'm trying to schedule them to play as a guest group at a Granite Rise volleyball game, and just still working to find opportunities for the kids to get out in the community and perform. They played at a home football game already this fall. That was really fun, so we love to just get out and play.
Thanks for bringing this over. Thank you.
It's been great. Thanks for supporting me.
You've been great.
Love it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So I am Jason Meyer, and I've been doing adapted art for, this is gonna be my 3rd year. I don't have them right now, but I will have them next trimester. And it kind of all started really with me being right next door to the special education program for about 10 years. And eventually just getting to know the kids and just loving on them. And then eventually they were like, can we take your class? So then I would get a couple kids in at the end of the hour, maybe 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then I had all my other regular ed students in there, and I'm like, hey, maybe we should make this a whole class by itself, and it did, it worked, and the first year went through, and I took about 50% of my projects, and I threw those away after the first year, and then the second year was last year, and it got better, and then I'm thinking perfection this year, I hope. But the whole program to me, yes, I introduce kids, and we do like, African mask, and we do clay projects, we do 2D projects, where we're, kind of concentrating on stuff about themselves, and then we'll do some craft projects. I got two of my, ex-principals here. I did 10 years of elementary, so I had to go back into my elementary world, and, that was kind of fun. I really liked going back into it. I miss elementary to some point, except for the first kindergartners and pre-Kers, but anyways. Yeah, it's been a great thing, and, I've been teaching for 25 years, and if I teach however long else, or whatever it is, I can tell you right now that the number one thing I'll miss is these students. Like, this is my jam. And whether they're in my class or not, I love these kids. We have so much fun together. We built such a relationship over the years and I've done that with the special education teachers too. This is what I'm gonna miss the most. It's been great. I love the opportunity that I can do it on my own. And I'm just like Craig, if you guys ever wanna come in, it's a hoop. I will tell you this, it's in the middle of the winter, and after every hour, I am sweating every day by the end of the hour. Thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Next up, recognition of visitors and hearing of people present. Next up, we have our consent agenda. You have the proposal for the consent agenda items. Do we have a motion to approve? Movement from Mark, second.
Support. Just to emphasize support from that. Just there's an additional item on that approval that I just wanted to get.
From our, motion to the agenda, the
Yep.
special meeting minutes, yeah. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next up, we'll move on to our regular action agenda, and first up, we have approval of the high school family, consumer science, and PE and health courses with me.
Good evening. So, as presented at the work session, the family consumer science courses, as well as PE and health courses, just making a formal recommendation for your approval.
All right, so the board had time to review the current family, consumer science, PE and health courses as presented by Amy Taylor. Do we have a motion to approve?
So.
Motion from Dawn, second,
Support.
from, what is it, Nick? All right. Any questions for Amy? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes. Next up, we have the irrigation bid recommendation with Mr. Patrick Briggs.
Thank you. This was reviewed at the work session. It's a complete replacement of the irrigation sprinkling system for Baldwin Middle. Bond funded, and we reviewed the bidders. Our recommendation is Michigan automatic sprinkler for $118,614.
All right, so you have the bid recommendation for irrigation as presented by Mr. Patrick Briggs. Do we have a motion to approve?
So.
Motion from Andrew, second.
I support that.
Second from Mr. Davis. Any questions for Pat? All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Right, motion passes. Next up, we have our report items.
First up, we'll have our animated report regarding our homecoming probably festivities. Absolutely. Pleasures. So the big thing is homecoming this past week. And so it began on Tuesday. Festivities really got started with our powder puff game. These were our junior and our senior girls who competed in flag football. This was a big fundraiser for student council, so we can continue putting on things like the homecoming dance. And then we moved on to
Who won?
the seniors won. It was close in the beginning, but eventually we figured it out. And then we moved on to Spirit Days throughout the week. We had the new addition of Spirit Week, like spirit costume competitions during lunches. This was to encourage spirits points. This Spirit Point competition, which continues throughout the week and is announced at the football game. It's competition between grades. And then
Who won?
Yeah.
I'll get to it. I promise. Building the suspense.
Yes.
And then we continue Spirit Week throughout the week, and then finally we were at our Friday assembly. This was our first homecoming assembly that we had the opportunity to have in the field house. It was amazing that all of our students in there, teachers, and everyone fit with room to spare. All of our fall sports teams were introduced. Super cool to showcase all of our student athletes to the school. And then we had our first public introduction of our homecoming court to the students. Then we followed that with rowdy games that continued our Spirit Week competition. That was the big thing, and it was pretty close up until Friday. And then we dismissed school, and right after getting everyone excited for the game. And for those who attend the football game, we had an amazing win against Grand Haven. It's always fun to be in like one of the biggest, if not the biggest, student sections, high school student sections. After the game, we announced our homecoming court again, mostly for the parents who did not have the chance to attend the assembly. And then we announced the grade that won the Spirit Week competition. The seniors had a giant comeback during the week, and I didn't know I cared that much about a plastic trophy, but I did. So, 11-1, 4 years in a row, is fantastic. And then after that excitement, we announced our 2024 homecoming king and queen, and then that concluded our Friday festivities. Then student council was at the high school at 10 in the morning on Saturday, setting up the dance. We worked for a few hours to make sure that everything was all set. We had to work extra hard because we managed to sell 1,600 tickets. We had a huge attendance this year, which was fantastic. The dance was a hit, especially the snow cones and popcorn station outside. So that was a huge hit for our students. After 2 hours of dancing, our court was announced for the final time, and then they were free to go and spend the rest of the time as they wished. And the dance was a blast. I heard a lot of positive feedback from individuals about the music, about the decorations, and it was a great week overall. And then our only other major event is a blood drive that we're hosting on October 25 at the high school. Seniors are getting the opportunity to earn their blood donor boards for graduation. And then the most incredible thing about our blood drives hosted at our high school is that all the blood donations that we receive, we then ship to our local area of Grand Rapids and hospitals near us. And then we have the opportunity to save usually about 100 lives every blood drive we host. And that's all for me. Any questions?
So your classes won?
No, the seniors won.
Okay, that's
4
what
years in a
The
row.
seniors,
Okay.
yes, but the
It
class
wasn't
of
your class.
2025 has won every year.
You won as freshman?
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's right.
Oh.
That's sophomores and
You did say that, yeah.
they're a big class.
Yeah.
They are the largest class that we've ever had. We're like by about 100 kids, but that's okay.
For him, that's right.
We have updates from some of our buildings. We'll start with Bauer Elementary. Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you. So you may remember that we have had a building project, and we got into the gym a little bit towards the end of last year, but we opened our new building fully for this school year, and our staff and students are ecstatic. It's wonderful. Thank you for your stewardship and help with that. We held our annual walkathon. We raised $32,600 at that event, and the celebration was to take colored powder and throw it at the principal if he raised a certain amount. And then also I'm gonna wear a funny suit one day, and the highest earner is going to job shadow with me, be principal for a day. It's gonna be fun. We just wrapped up ACT meetings, which is where we discuss academic data around our students and build intervention groups. And conferences are right around the corner, so we're gonna start scheduling those. Our teachers always look forward to communicating with our families about how students are doing. And that is it for Bauer. Any questions? Thank you.
Jamestown Lower.
It's mid-October in Jamestown, so the smell of farming's in the air. Across the street, there's lots of work going on with the park, so that the heavy equipment helps hold the attention of some students during recess. We also wrapped up ACT meetings, and we have lots of interventions going on in the building. We have our walkathon tomorrow. We planned it for this perfect weather. And something new we're doing with PBIS in the cafeteria to help with cafeteria behavior is we have these golden forks. And then an unintended benefit, we have students who are choosing to kind of stay behind as their classes are lining up to help wipe down tables, pick up extra trash and things like that. So can't promise any parents that they will do that at home, but at school they're doing it. And we had a great compliment from a sub custodian who said that sometimes the floor at the cafeteria at Jamestown was worse than other 6 buildings combined, but it's made a 180. Couldn't believe what it looked like, so we're really proud of that.
Next up, we have the 5-6 building. Mrs. Blair.
So we had a great second year start in our building. Our 6th grade teachers were pleasantly surprised. They did not have to help 300 and some kids open lockers this year. They came in trained. They knew the building, they knew expectations. They're like, this is the best year ever. So Southside, you need a 5-6 building. Maybe your 6th grade teachers will appreciate people working and building those skills for them coming on up. So that was really fun, and then they celebrated our 5th grade teachers, which was really cool, kind of bringing our staff together. They brought them treats and coffee, just because of all the hard work that our 5th grade teachers put in last year, helping support our kids' transition to a new building. And then we are doing our Amazing Race fundraiser. We kicked it off last week, so thanks to the high school for sending over the football players and the cheerleaders. We had our first assembly with all of our students and staff together last week on Friday for homecoming. And then our teachers gave them a preview of what they will be doing in our Amazing Race fundraiser day. They dressed up in the inflatable costumes and they did a little race that our kids will be doing with no costumes, but it still was fun. The kids had a great time, and the high schoolers did a really great job of amping them up and getting them really excited. It was really loud in there, but it was a great time. And we just wrapped up ACT meetings as well on Tuesday, so we will be kicking off our interventions next week.
Anything for the 5-6 building? Last but not least, Mr. Beal at high school.
Yeah, thank you, Paxton, for the good chronological explanation there of homecoming. It was a fun week, to be sure. A very busy one, and this week was no different. We had a lot of success in athletics, which is fun. Like Paxton said, the football team won, but also gotta mention soccer won conference for the first time ever, boys soccer. Our girls golf team also won conference and then just won the regional yesterday, so they're still going. And so just it adds a little element of excitement, certainly in the fall at the high school, so we love it. But hard to believe we got parent-teacher conferences. We're progressing so quickly through the trimester. Parent-teacher conferences are next week. Fall concerts, like Mr. Vanderwall said, band was last night, choir was a couple nights ago. So a lot of busyness happening this week too, including pink out, volleyball, we'll be heading to right after this meeting is done. But a lot of fun going on in the fall. It's just a great time to be at the high school. So thank you for all your support. It's been a great start to the year.
Thanks, Mr. Beal. Any questions for the high school? A quick report from me tonight. I will say I want to appreciate our administrative team, those that are here tonight. Between their busy workday and this meeting tonight, we had a meeting between the day and tonight that we're doing a lot of brainstorming and designing how to reimagine what the buildings will look like post all the financial assistance we may get federally, what that looked like during COVID. We can say, okay, let's reimagine what now this looks like in our building. So we're doing a lot of work around that. It's gonna take some time before we come to the board with some recommendations. But the heavy lift, I know they've had a lot going on throughout the day, and they still have families they'd love to go see this evening too. So I wanna thank our administrative team and our central office for all their work on that. So that's our update, John.
All right, we will do a board roundtable before we dismiss, and I'm gonna start on my left with Mr. Davis.
Oh, okay. Last week I got an email from the Ottawa Area Intermediate School District inviting me to a board meeting, which was last night. Well, sometimes my memory is a little foggy. I wasn't sure I was on that board. And a couple days ago, I talked to Greg Chansky about it, and he wasn't sure what he might be on that board. So anyway, I thought, what the heck, I'll go to the meeting. So I went to the meeting, and it was a good meeting. When I went in, introduced myself as Mark Davis, but my name tag was Greg Chansky. We had a good meeting, a lot of important discussions and some plans, but at the end, I said, now, if I've said anything particularly wise tonight, my name is Mark Davis. If I goofed up, my name is Greg Chansky. I'll give it to you next.
I'm all set. Thanks.
I just wanna, the Hudsonville Education Foundation is having their gala on, let's see, what date is it? November 4th, Monday, November 4th. Last time you signed up is October 21st, and you can sign off the district homepage. Also, this past year, the foundation ended up giving $25,000 to the different buildings and schools, so they're doing a very good job with that. And then also, we had some exciting news last week. The district financial audit was held in this very room a week ago at this time. It was a very exciting audit. Ken, Andrew, and myself were here along with Pat and Jody, and it was, as usual, it was a very excellent audit. And sometimes we take these things for granted, the fact that we have such a excellent foundation with our finances, but that does not happen by accident. That happens because Pat and his team and Dr. Vanderjack do an outstanding job. And as we start to look around the landscape of the state over the last several months, there are districts who are getting into a little bit, or who are in a bit of a pickle because they did not manage their finances well. And so we kind of take for granted that that never happens here, and it doesn't. We always do it well, and I just want to thank Pat and his group for doing that. You are very much appreciated, and the auditors, and nothing but excellent things to say about group, so thank you very much for that. Yes.
Okay. I want to thank Stephanie Fast for a couple things. Number one, she posted some great pictures about homecoming on the Facebook page, and it was just a real treat to see students enjoying the time, and again, that spirit of camaraderie and fire up, go Eagles. Secondly, she had also sent us a link for the Appleseed. And in there, what struck me was a couple of businesses that had a great opportunity for the robotic students to have a unique experience with a special robotic arm, is the way I read it. That was JR Automation and MFP Automation. So I just want to give a shout out to them, thank them for spending their time to increase the knowledge of our robotic students, and appreciate Stephanie sending that information to us if you haven't had a chance to read it.
Yeah, just two quick things. Greg took one of them, wanted to promote the gala on November 4th. Great night, always a fun time there. And I wanted to thank you, Dr. Vanderjack. You had a long day Saturday, and it's not uncommon, but you were at the pool really early that day, and you were helping with blowing up balloons for homecoming. I think you were going to tennis and water polo and all that, and who knows. So it just those things don't always get seen. I just wanted to publicly say it's appreciated. I know the kids appreciate it, parents appreciate it when you run around like that on a Saturday. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and to build on Greg and Nick's comments, financially, with what the team does, listening to all of you, I mean, we're a good district because, thank you, Dr. Vanderjack, for setting such high standards, and Mr. Briggs as well, on our financial performance, so thank you for that. Tigers down 0-1. Reminds me, we're gonna wrap this up and get out of here. But it just reminds me of one of our good friends, Larry Kappinga, who would come in on summer nights when the Tigers were playing and saying, Ken, they're playing at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock every night, let's wrap this up. So that was a very common thing from Larry. We all remember him. But go Tigers, that's it.
It is amazing, all the sports are doing so well in the district this fall, and we have had awesome weather for all of it, and I thought what great weather we had for homecoming as well. I just want to say thanks. I know Craig and Jason have left, but really it's great to hear about the music and the adaptive art that we are doing for our students. It really makes a difference. All right, with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So
Movement from Andrew, second, support from Dawn. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we are adjourned.